how does undermining your Senate Majority Leader make you any more powerful, any more successful? How does having a battle with the person who has to somehow manage the arcane rules and regulations of the Senate, and you're undercutting him every day? I don't get it.
Frank Luntz is a Republican strategist, but most importantly, to me, Frank Luntz is a professional social engineer. That means that Frank Luntz's job is to manipulate people. Now, he has to use various metrics of measurable understandings of human psychology in order to do that. So it would be things like knowing the buying habits of his audience and so on. But for some reason, Frank Luntz, I don't know if he's doing it rhetorically or for the sake of manipulation, but he is stating that he doesn't get it. He doesn't know how Trump succeeded at what he did. Well, I'm going to tell you how he did it, okay? So, 11,000 years ago, we came out of the last ice age, and it was the first time in human history where humans were reduced to 18,000 individuals worldwide. That had never happened before. Before the last ice age, a couple 100,000 years before that, we were millions of people across the world, and now we're only 18,000 individuals worldwide. This is the first time in human history where the average tribe size, which can be measured, by the way, in what is necessarily required by the brain structure of the human animal, not just evolutionary biology and anthropology and paleontology and everything that tells us that there was large tribes that we used to be a part of, large extended families of people that were like 100 to 100 and a couple hundred people at a time, were reduced to, well, I would just give you a thought experiment that will horrify you. Imagine that you had 100 intimates your whole existence, but now all of a sudden your tribe is only 5 people. 2 men, 1 female, and a handful of kids. Which one of those men is going to be with that woman? It's going to be the man who has the best survival skills, right? And that could be the most antisocial, most psychotic, most disgusting human being you could possibly imagine. That guy is more likely to survive. Whereas in the past, before that, when you have 100 intimates in your tribe, you got 99 other people to deal with if it turns out that you're a fucking sociopath, right? So it's not, in evolutionary biology, by the way, it's not a matter of opinion how this went down. It is not speculative, not at all, okay? In 2010, Leanne Young discovered the moral compass of the brain. It's shown that this moral compass had evolved from the time that we separated from animals 7 million years ago. It is the social cohesion and social intelligence matrix of the human brain that exists in all mammals, but the difference between them and us, with the larger prefrontal cortex and the neocortex that human beings have, is that we process things in terms of our social intelligence vastly more complexly and deeply than other animals do, where the moral compass of the brain is essential to us, okay? So 11,000 years ago, when we came out of that last ice age, it was the first time in human history, which we never recovered from, where antisocial traits had been given a seat on the dais, been given a seat on the council to decide how shit was going to go down for us as a species. And they went to work, getting other people to do work for them, creating harems and being fucking disgusting. So you cut to 10,000 years later where that was never corrected, ever. And it's gotten to the point where we're so individualized as a culture. You have the developed sense of how things should be, where your place is in society, where you fit in with your tribe. The developed understanding of that no longer exists. Now, there's another really terrible thing about that, which is that we now live in a global community. Now, here's something that the human brain, evolutionarily speaking, has had no experience in at all. Okay? Traditionally, the human animal, the organism, knew maybe that there was another tribe over the ridge somewhere, but they did not know that there was tribes all over the earth that they would potentially be threatened by. That's a whole new animal. Now here we are in 2025, and whereas your ancestors would have been highly socially developed, being surrounded by 100 other intimates that you talk to all day long, 8 hours, 10 hours, 16 hours a day, wherever they are on the upper end of the social connection scale, that their social development is so strong that you can't really lie to them about, they know everything about everybody around them, so you're not really lying to them. And now, nobody knows anything about anybody else, and it is all there is bullshit. Now look, language cannot evolve if you're only transferring information that is bullshit, okay? Bullshit is the death of humanity. If murder, you think that's the best way to, be a competitor in your species, well, you have no species, because everybody kills each other. If that's the best way to do something, that's not how that works. So that's not a natural reality. Also, when men and women cannot trust each other, how do they procreate? These are all unnatural forces that have completely interfered with everything that makes us our best selves and makes us who we are. We have never experienced in this generation what it is like to be surrounded by other honest people like that. Not at all. Nobody knows what that feels like, especially in the Western world, in the first world. So you take like 1 billion people, let's say. And when I say 1 billion people, I mean people like in the United States, Western Europe, and the so-called free world, in the Western world, that are being influenced in any way by a central leader like Donald Trump. Well, they don't have the developed sense of their relationship, of their own personal philosophy to their community, like they did in the past. Not even nowhere near that. You can be really like a reader, like me, I'm a reader, and get to where you have an understanding of what the problem is. That does not mean that you have that developed sense. It doesn't. It means you know that that thing exists and that you could have an experience like that, but you have not had an experience like that. Now, the average American citizen, all right, has maybe 5 intimates, close friends that really know him and that they know. This is also the first time in human history, I gotta say, again, where you can lose everybody you know in one car crash. We are in a continuous state of being at risk of losing everyone we know and love all the time. And that's been true for a very long time in the United States. If one generation has not been able to teach another generation, by example, how to socialize and properly develop themselves, we're in a lot of trouble. Now you inject computers and these algorithms, infinite scroll, Tristan Harris, these bastards, into the situation, and guys like Elon Musk, and it's very, very easy to exert control over those people. You don't have to make any sense. You don't have to tell the truth, because if you just get a majority of the least developed rich people to listen to you, and when I say rich people, I do not mean millionaires. I mean people who make $10,000 a year, okay? People who make more money than me. All you gotta do is get them to listen to you. When the point of focus of the entire world is looking back on this one person, market forces and corporatocratic forces will absolutely dominate that situation every single time. And that's the world you live in now. You live in a world that we are all responsible for, that we absolutely created by never correcting the problems of the past. Yeah, they're going to come back to haunt us right now. Now, surely, there are people who take advantage of these vacuums that are being unnaturally produced and in real time right now. They're accidentally taking advantage of it. Maybe some people in corporate power or political power. But the ones who will dominate in the end, in that cycle, are going to be the ones who do it on purpose. And in a situation like this, the difference in the evil between doing this on purpose and doing this on accident is negligible to me. The reality is, to me, if your children have you as an example on how to behave with other people in relationships, we're all fucked. Especially if you're staring at the screen right now. I don't have any because I don't want it to happen to you. That's all. It keeps me awake at night, every night.